Tonight's talk is consciousness, creativity, and the brain. And if you have a golf ball-sized consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball-size understanding. When you look out, a golf ball-size awareness. And when you wake up in the morning, a golf ball-size wakefulness. But if you could expand that consciousness, then you read the book, more understanding. You look out, more awareness. And when you wake up, more wakefulness. It's consciousness. And there's an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness inside each one of us. And it's right at the source and base of mind, right at the source of thought, and it's also at the source of all matter.
There is no matter as such. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particle of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together.
Hi, David here. Just thinking about a few things. The Bible is an interesting story, but I think it's a template, not only spiritually, but in a lot of other aspects that aren't literal. And there's things about the Bible that are often overlooked, like the math behind it is quite interesting, and there's things called gematria or gematria. I don't know, I can't pronounce it. Sounds like geometry to me. And the other one's Isophia, I think it's called, and that's the Greek one, and the other one's Hebrew or something. And then there's other languages that do the same thing where, you know, like Roman numerals, where the letters mean numbers. Well, other languages like Hebrew started with 22, I believe, foundation letters, and there was no vowels. So, and I don't even think there were spaces before, so that must have been hard to translate. And I think it goes back like so many thousand years. But the thing is, it's like I said, a template, and this is basically the way I see it. Like the word logos, whatever. It's really well made, but it's not something that is like, you know, the end all be all. It's a template. So the teachings of Christ, or, you know, the way, stuff like that, it works, and it's not an easy path, but it's very rewarding, and that's just one aspect of it. Historically, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. It's inspiring, and that's good. But back to the math now. The words and the lettering and all that, how many letters and things like that, they all have little numbers that, like, for instance, you know, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then it goes 10, 20, 30, blah, 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 100, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, and each letter is assigned a number, and that's how they would calculate things. So a lot of these words were proven to be quote-unquote true, because mathematically they were formulas, so they were sound. And some of the hidden mysteries, or I call them hidden mysteries, but they're just stuff that you got to search. And well, this is what I found, was that when you start calculating things, you find a lot of interesting stuff, like the number 543 or 345, because a lot of things mirror. It's just, that's the way it is. Not always, but a lot of them do. And there's shadow properties. I think that's what the mirror is, a shadow property. But, you know, I don't mean it in like anything other than just mirror. But yeah, so what I found was the 345 is you know, Pythagoras, you know, he had that, the triangle with a 3 by 4 by 5. Now those are very important, and they go either way because it's just angles of a triangle. And what it gives you is, let's say, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, there's a thing called lowest common denominator. And the lowest common denominator is what you get when you divide things. And you try to get the smallest ratio. Like a ratio is like, you know how you figure out a percentage? Same thing, ratio. And 345 is like a very key number. So when you add 345 plus 543, you get 888, and that's another number. A sign for, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Jesus. You know, it's kind of funny because some of these things are lost in translation. Like, you know, no disrespect, it's still a very interesting story, and I'm still learning. But for instance, the letter J is about 500 or 600 years old. You know, so the English alphabet only had 25 letters prior to that. And then I thought, well, what's this number 26? And then you get into Yahweh or something, you know, YHWH, I don't know, something like that, because there's no vowels. I pronounce it Yahweh because that's just the way I see it. It could be an algorithm, like you have water here, or like Bible is basic instruction before leaving Earth. But there's things sometimes to remember things. But Yahweh, when you add the gematria, it adds to 26, and 26 is interesting because it's made out of 4 letters, the Yahweh, and the symbols, when you pile them on top of each other, they draw something that looks like a man. Which is kind of cool, you know, just a little thing. You know how, like, other languages other than English, or, you know, they use symbols, and, well, I found that a lot of the Hebrew writing very resembles angles within something, so I started putting these numbers together and crunching them down to lowest denominators and all that common denominators. And then you get these ratios, and like, for instance, you have known Jesus Christ is a 3-4-5 ratio, you know, so then you start wondering, well, what's it building? And I started doing the different math, and for a long time it took me to, because not only do you have to reach this information in your head, but you have to go through it in your heart too in order to, I don't know, just use it. And what happened was I started drawing it. It turned out to be a flower of life, and I was like, wow. And then I started doing more research, and you find out that these things are connected to zero. I don't know what it's called, but there's so much going on. Like, connected with Fibonacci, connected with binary, connected with doubling. You know, like 1 plus 1, 2, 4, 8. You know, that's binary. But 1, 3, 5, 7. Or 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, I don't know, something like that. But it goes on, that's Fibonacci, and they're connected. And it's amazing once you see the numbers and try to piece it together. It's entertaining, but I don't know if it's useful. I just find it helps you pull back from, I guess, a focus of fear or expectation, and it helps you to see something that only you can see because you're looking. But what I saw, like, it started doing all amazing things, like just the calculations all too tied in, and then I started studying the number 19, and I found all this information about, like, you start going into the Quran, and you start doing the number thing, because they have the same thing, like I said, with gematria and isophia. And then you learn more, and you're like, whoa, this thing is really interesting. And then the story becomes not so literal. It still is, to an extent, because that's your roots, but the higher up you go in the dimensions, you start seeing things beyond the self, beyond fear or expectation, and you become in tune with your higher self, and it's good, but it's not easy, and I don't know what to say. It's just it's cool. So anyway, I got to the number 19, and I thought, whoa, okay, this is where it ends, and then all of a sudden I entered the 20th, and something changed in me over the next couple months. Once I entered the 20th, it was just an amazing thing. Like, I started gaining access to more of my life, my memories, and like so many good things that were there the whole time. I just wasn't able to like visualize, hear it, see it, and just be there when I'm thinking. And now I can, to an extent, and it's very nice. And it's no longer any judgment, any fear, or anything like that. But there is something that that helps. Is just I always try to be true to myself, and once in a while I absorb some bad habits or negativity, but I usually correct myself before I make a mistake or go against the way I am. But I'm not perfect. I fuck up. And it's good to fuck up, because sometimes life's biggest fuck-ups are the most rewarding accomplishments to overcome.
Human nature. I want to sing you an unknown song. It doesn't come natural to me. I don't know the words, and I cannot sing, but if you want, I will do anything. How long to get you to hear me singing my soul beyond control, to bring me back to life, to die again tonight, apart from you for just a second, lost forever to the times apart. Oh my heart, please come back to me. Help me to see all I am for you to take, and give me a break, and break me into you. The flower of life grows petals bright, to the heavens light it glows. It looks to find what it leaves behind, all its wants and woes. The wind of time, how sweet and mean, it takes away all my flowers seen. It rips the roots, it tears under boots, and a blanket of snow it lies under. Then in spring, a miraculous thing, the flower of life does show, that beyond all doubt, the times of drought, it will forever grow. Spring to life, and leave the past under the snow. I want to sing you an unknown song. It doesn't come natural to me. I am what I am. What I am. What am I to do?
So you do want to hear it. Okay, here it goes. I'll just hold it. Michael. What? I fought him in the past. I grew strong enough to last. I did not want to see. He showed me. I fell into a hole. I gave up control. When I could no longer win, I took him in. Michael saved me from my own hell, and I love him more than I can tell. Okay, I was requested to say a funny poem, and I have every emotion, I thought, except humor, which is kind of funny. So I wrote one called The Cosmic Comic for you, and I'm David. What's your name? Stacy. Okay, Stacy. This is from me to you. Okay. The Cosmic Comic. You told me not to see. I looked. You told me not to taste. I took. You said I would be free. I believed. You said that I am me, and I could not see.